to Second Act. Today we have Parul Malhotra, spiritual success consultant. Wow. I have not heard of somebody like this so far. So very, very keen to know what is this spiritual success consultant. A little bit about Parul that we know is that she has been a very successful journalist and now completely switched over to being a Bob Proctor practitioner or facilitator. We will know more about this practice, about Bob, and what does he really bring. Parul is a trained energy healer and in neuroscience technique for peak performance, blessed to be guided by Buddhist Grandmaster himself. So, Parul, welcome to Second Act podcast. It's a pleasure to have you. You have been so successful. You have been working with British High Commission. You have been writing. You have been really somebody who can express so much, because I think that's what journalists do, really bring their expression out, curate it for the world and then bring it forward. And yet you were lost. I mean, I was reading in your blogs and what is written about you. You were lost. You thought one less about yourself. And this podcast is really to know your story, to know that from where did you get this feeling, firstly, after being so successful. I feel maybe we will also dwell in the definition of success from you. And then doing something absolutely typically different. First, let's go back. And so, welcome, Parul. It's such a pleasure to have you. And please tell us a little bit about yourself as a background, and then we go.
Thank you, Archana. Really, really pleased to be here with you. Very, very pleased. Thanks for having me. A bit about myself. So yes, I'm 45 years old. Very proud to be 45, and I have many, many, many more years of amazing work ahead of me. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm on purpose, which is why it's really important to tune into that feeling of being a bit lost. Because if you're feeling a bit lost, you ask me, why did I feel lost? I get it now because I did some inner work, targeted, focused inner work on understanding myself. And it's now clear to me that even though I was successful based on the outwardly external descriptions, evidence of success, I was not connected with who I was on the inside. Okay, I was very good at what I was doing because I had a very strong work ethic. I had some good work habits. I had very strong moral core. I had integrity, but there's a lot more to me that I didn't even know. Okay, I wasn't connected with my gifts, my talents, my passions. I was living the life that I was programmed to live, right? And that's why I was feeling lost. That's what I mean when I say I'm a spiritual success consultant, because true success really is doing what you love doing, being very good at it, and providing the service you're here to provide. That's it. Create and you survive and you be your authentic self and you set amazing goals and you enjoy the journey towards those goals. That to me is true success. Being yourself, being your authentic self, doing something fulfilling, meaningful, enjoying life as you're doing it, right? None of this was happening. So the trappings of success were there, but on the inside, one was feeling empty, lost, unclear. And all of this comes to the surface once you do the targeted inner work, which I wasn't doing. I didn't even know any of these things. I had no idea what I'm talking about actually existed that I should be exploring. All I knew was there were invisible blocks that were holding me back. All I knew was, I don't know why I'm not happier. I don't know why I can't go to that next level of success. I don't know what's holding me back. I know I can do more, I can be more, I can be better. But I didn't know what was holding me back. So anyway, that was a long and short of it. We
No,
based on what we do.
Yes. And I think that every one of us goes through this phase in life. It's not you, it's not me alone, it's everyone. Everyone thinks, okay, I'm not happy in this space that I am. And I need to probably, do a bit better. We set ourselves, more difficult targets professionally, personally, always trying to just please somebody else, maybe. So, how do we identify what is What is that right time you think that we must nudge ourselves to say, hey, what is my purpose?
Now, right now, we are here for a very short period of time on
Right.
this planet, right? So ask yourself, or I ask myself, why must I wait even one more second to start to live an extraordinary life, being the extraordinary person that I am? Because that's what you, I, and everybody else on this podcast who are listening to us are. We are extraordinary beings. Our problem is that we are conditioned to see ourselves as these bodies, these human beings, as these individuals, but we are not. We are spirit, we are soul, we are perfection. Our spiritual DNA is perfect, and we have infinite potential. Infinite potential. Okay. What we have is imperfection in our thinking. We have imperfect thinking habits. We have imperfect attitude. We have imperfect habits at work.
Yeah.
An imperfect image of ourselves. All of that can be fixed, but there is perfection within me and you, and therefore my life can be extraordinary if I learn how to change these imperfect other things that are right now defining me, but they don't define me. So let's get to the core of it, fix that, change the programming that is running me. Right now, you and I and everybody else is being run by a default subconscious mental program that is causing these imperfections in our thinking. I think small. I think poorly of myself. I have a low self-image. I have certain conceptions of my abilities. I have a certain worldview, and most of it is under the water. That's our mind. So we
Yeah.
keep trying to work harder. We keep trying to get better results. We keep trying to set amazing goals, and we stretch maybe, but we don't get there. And then we shrink. Our spirit shrinks. We feel a bit sorry for ourselves. We feel we're not good enough. And then we start to settle, and we think this is all we can do. But actually, there is a way to fix everything, which is you get to the root cause of everything that is happening in your life, which is your subconscious programming, my subconscious programming. You learn to fix that. You break through all the resistance that you're feeling. So when should we listen to that inner voice? Now. Talk to me, get involved in our trainings, understand the system, learn to apply it, start to break through those invisible barriers. Life is beautiful, and we are creating our lives either accidentally. So let's learn to create the deliberate experiences that we want to experience. It's amazing.
So coming back to understanding what spirit that you're mentioning here, or what exactly is being a spiritual consultant? What is spiritual for you? It's such a
Being spirit.
wide definition. People, have different meanings of, being spiritual. So what is exactly what
Let
type?
me ask you, what's your meaning of spirituality, and how do you define as being spiritual?
For me, spiritual is that I'm aligning with something which is inside to my external source of energy, which shows me the path, which shows me the way, which shows me gratitude, which shows me, finding a deeper meaning within everything that I'm doing. It's like connecting myself to, my higher purpose. And that's what spiritual is for me.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's how it is for me too. We are spirit, or we are soul, meaning what we, and this is this is not something I and you have come up with. This is the wisdom of the ancients. This is well known as a philosophy, certainly in our way of life. The only thing is we don't practice it, that we are soul and that we live in a human body, and the soul comes to this earth to have experiences and to grow and evolve through those experiences, right? That's all we are here for. And we choose to come to this lifetime. We choose the families that we are born in, and we choose to experience everything. So that's one element of us, that we have to stop to see ourselves as a human being. We have to start to see ourselves as energy, as spirit. Once we do that, then we have to start to expand our thinking a little bit more and say, okay, if I'm energy, then that energy is actually flawless. It's perfect. And then you start to see, okay, I'm here as an extension of universal energy.
Yeah.
That's all I am. I'm an extension of universal energy. You can call it divine, you can call it cosmic energy, universal energy. I'm an extension of that. I have in a physical body. That changes our conception of ourselves completely once we really internalize it and start to live it. So that's what we do. Our mentorship program is about understanding that I'm spirit, my spiritual DNA is perfect. I can be whoever I want to be. I'm here to live life to the fullest. I have an intellect. I'm not my thoughts. I have a mind, I have intellect, and I live in a physical body. So I'm not defined by my thoughts. I'm not defined by my feelings. I'm certainly not defined by the body that I see in the mirror. So I'm going to stop limiting myself. When I see myself through these prisms, they're limiting me. I will choose to be that perfect version of myself. And it starts with that. So being spiritual means being in tune with who we are, what we are here to do, what our purpose is, what makes me happy, what brings meaning to my life, what makes me smile, what makes me get out of bed every morning, grateful for another day. What are the experiences that I'm experiencing? What am I putting out? What energy am I putting out? Who is in my world? What kind of people am I surrounding myself with? These are all deliberate, conscious choices that the spirit should be making. So let's learn how to make those choices. And we can use our mind to unlock our potential. One of the laws, you said, what is a spiritual success consultant? There are spiritual laws of success. One of the laws is law of pure potentiality, infinite potential as spirit. So let's learn to unlock that potential. How? By using the mind. The second law is, or one of the laws that I have internalized through the work that I first did and now I do with my clients, is law of cause and effect. I am the cause of every effect in my life. I am the cause. My thoughts, my feelings, my perceptions, my assumptions, my behavior, my inaction, my judgments, my image, my worldview, my attitude. This combination of all of this that I've just said is my consciousness. That is me. That is my consciousness. So everything on the outside has to show up in my world. Everything on the inside has to show up in my world on the outside. It has to. Kahan jayega? Whatever is on the inside has to be expressed as my results. So we have to stop living from the outside in. We have to stop going to work because I'm going to earn X amount of money, so I will have that car, so I will have the bigger house, so I will have that title. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to work on the inside first. There's no work to be done.
But don't
It's
we
just
all speak that? I mean, I'm just interrupting her because there are so many people, because now I'm relating also to the audiences who are hearing us. So this question, of course, keeps coming. I also need the materialistic things. I also need to strive for a better living for myself and my family. Then how do I take care of all the internal things that, probably provide me the calm, the comfort, and then the peace and the love, and probably that's coming in the way of, like, also the life that I'm seeing for myself in comfort of the luxuries that I want to provide for everybody.
so there is actually a really, but that there is simple way of getting this right, of tuning in, of recognizing my own patterns, my own good habits. Let me give you an example. What is it? Give me a result that you would love to have and that you've been trying to, but you haven't been able to.
Are you asking me a question? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my
Finance, career, any area of your life.
So since I've just started about a year and a half ago into my entrepreneurship journey, definitely I want to reach far and wide and have bigger impact on people.
All I'm trying to say is we can expand our imagination and our consciousness and let it take us to a place where we want to be. Our problem is we are so conditioned to limit our thinking that we can't even think that it's possible that I can earn in 1 month what I earn in a year. But that is possible. So allow yourself to go to a place, Archana, where you have that perfect life. You have the impact, you have the subscribers, you are able to make a genuine difference in the lives of people, where you have helped people discover themselves or find meaning, and you're living your life, and you're working only a X many hours that you want to work in a day, and you're in a healthy body, and you never have to worry about money again. You have total financial freedom. Think for 1 minute of that life.
And that'll happen, you say?
Yes, absolutely. Because the law of cause and effect says you are the cause of every effect in your life. And the thing is, you know what a law is? The law is always at work. हमको पता है या नहीं पता उसके बारे में, वो काम कर रहा है. Law of gravity is working. It will work for a toddler. It will work for a full-blown adult who's standing on top of the building and will jump off it. It will work. The toddler does not know, the adult knows. It's at work. The law of cause and effect is at work. So if you choose those experiences for yourself today in your mind, I can help you train your mind to experience those experiences in your physical world. That is the law of cause and effect. You have to hold that picture in your mind. You have to expand your consciousness. What will you need to do? You will have to change some of your beliefs about what is possible for you. You will have to change some of your thinking habits. That I can do this, that I can't do this, that this is possible for me, this is hard for me. Those are some of the automatic default thinking habits that we have. That this will take long. हाँ यार हो सकता है, but 10 साल लगेंगे. नहीं. It's an automatic thinking habit. वो भी बदलनी पड़ेगी. So some habits will change. Then we'll actually change some habits that will make you even more productive, so that you live the life that you want to live. So take an example. Why is it that some of us know that we should be actually be on the phone following up with some clients, but instead we avoid that and we choose to watch TV, or we'll do some other work which is easier for us, and we avoid the slightly difficult part of what we do. Sabke saath hota hai na? We don't love everything in our work life. There are some things that are harder for us and some things that are not. Supposing you got into the habit of automatically doing the hard stuff. Automatically. Aadat pad gayi uski. How easy would it be, right? And supposing you got into the habit of becoming super productive, like the time that we spend on worrying, on having doubts, on being afraid, and then talking about those things with a few other people, and then saying, okay, let me try and do that. Let me just leave that aside for the moment. I'll revisit that. All of that adds up to a few hours in the day. Put that out of the way, you'll suddenly realize you had so much more time. So what I'm doing is, there is a system to this. It starts with changing our thinking habits, our work habits, our perception of ourselves, our attitude, and how I see myself, my self-image, our consciousness. There is a system. Isko change kar diya, you align all of this behind that dream that you just told me, absolutely you'll get there. Because your inner world is being expressed through you as your outer world. That's the law. So if you want to learn to live that way, from a place of personal power always, isse kya hoga? I stopped blaming other people. I stopped feeling victimized. I stopped feeling guilty. When I realized that I had infinite potential, that I was playing at only 10%, which is what science tells us, all of us are playing at only 10% of our potential. We have 90% locked up. So even if we did nothing on the outside, we got no extra training, we got no extra help from anybody else, we just worked on ourselves, we would have massive shifts in income, we would have time freedom, we would be more creative, we would have amazing new relationships, We would have better existing relationships. We would be healthier emotionally. We would be healthier mentally. We would be physically fitter. I am the cause of every effect in my life. And this is the science. This is the spiritual side of success. Tune in, learn that you're playing small, get rid of the programming, become automatically good and powerful. And flip it and see it as another way, which is the science of peak performance.
Right.
So
what is the next thought? This is very convincing.
Let's learn to do this together. Yeah, I'm selling you an idea of your amazingness, that there has to be not even one more second wasted. Not one more second, because there is a system. Will you give me one more second?
Yeah.
So what a system is. There's like, think of an accounting system that you plug into your office system and it does the job, right? You just have to feed in stuff and it does what it needs to do. A car is a system. It's been programmed to run a certain way. So you go from A to B. The program, the mentorship program that Bob created, which I did myself, which I study every day, apply to myself, and I guide my clients through, is exactly a system. It is a system which will work 100% of the time. It's step by step, it's formulaic, it's a process-driven system. All you have to do is follow it. And all those shifts that you have and I have been talking about start to happen immediately. All we must want is, हाँ, मुझे कुछ नया चाहिए, मुझे कुछ अच्छा चाहिए. I want to expand my experience of this life. I know I'm here for more. I'm going to learn to be that person and I'm committed to it. Because हाँ, habits थोड़ी बदलनी पड़ेंगे, थोड़ा सा effort करना पड़ेगा. शुरू में effort कर लेंगे, it becomes effortless after that. The whole life you're going to be in this flow state. No resistance, no guilt, no worry, no fear, no doubt. Just love.
Yeah. So actually, through my venture Second Act, or Discover Your Second Act, it actually believes in this. I was just having a conversation from the audience point of view, of course, and I know the potential of, believing in oneself, tapping into your inner energies, which we normally don't do at all. And I think everything starts with a little bit of awareness about our habits, our actions, our behavior, our patterns, like you said. And I think the world has started to become more aware than it was 2 years ago, thanks to the pandemic. We have started. So I'm hearing the chirping of the birds behind you. So this is normal. Before that, oh my goodness, these things went like, oh my God, there's noise coming. We have to be in a certain way. We have to be dressed in a certain, trying to be like, it's very professional. But now it's okay to be okay. It's coming to be that, slightly, it's more acceptable. And I think that is a good start as well. But are we understanding our own selves? Are we understanding what stops us from being us? And I think these are the questions that we must keep asking ourselves. And thanks for doing the work that you're doing. Coming to, of course, the practice that you do from what Bob is, created. How did you get attracted to that? How did you get introduced to that? Because as it always said that what you're seeking is seeking you, basically. So I'm sure that it must have just come somewhere and like, you must be seeking out for it. But tell us about it. That how did you get attracted to this?
Actually, really, really interesting. But so we've agreed that we are consciousness, and we're also part of the universal consciousness, right? We're part of that same energy. So which means what? Every thought that I get emotionally involved with is sending out a ripple across the universal field. Like imagine an ocean and all these waves. I am a wave in the ocean. So I'm a part of the ocean, but I'm also me. I'm also that wave, right? So equally, all of us are individuals, but we're also part of the universal consciousness. So mera kya ho raha tha? I was so deeply stuck. I was so deeply unfulfilled. I was not happy that I had come to a point where I was sending out, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was praying. I was like, please, I need a way out. I need to find a way to be happier. to be healthier, because I was neither. Now I realized that I was, with such intensity, with emotional intensity, I was sending out these thoughts into the universe. And so automatically I was guided. Now I look back and I see what was happening. Automatically I was guided to understanding the subconscious mind. And Bob popped up. Like literally he showed up in my life. Thankfully, I had that much awareness to listen to him carefully. And I had already started a meditative practice. I was not into meditation. I did not consider myself spiritual. I was certainly not thinking about God, nothing. I was just my regular person doing my own thing until I felt a bit broken on the inside. So I had already started to understand the power of the subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is the mind that is giving us all our results in life, Archana, all our results. So the conscious mind will set a goal, but it's the subconscious mind that will help us execute and achieve that goal, or it will stop us. It's the subconscious mind that will self-sabotage us, or it will take us very fast towards our goal. Kisko pata hai? Very few people know that. We're not being taught this.
Right.
So anyway, because I was connected with the universal field, as you are, as everybody else is, I sent out a prayer for help. Bob Proctor showed up. I had the sense to listen to him carefully. I had already started to understand the power of the subconscious mind. I was already meditating and I listened to him, and it connected with me deeply what he was saying. And he was saying the same things that I'm talking to you about, that we can change our results. We have infinite potential. We are limited by our subconscious programming. We are locked into our results because we are locked into that programming and we didn't even know it. So what if I taught you how to change your own programming? Like imagine a thermostat in your room, which is controlling your room temperature, and it's automatically controlling your room temperature to what you have set it to. That is basically you and everybody else right now. So we might want something, we might want to release 5 kilos, but we keep trying and we don't succeed. We will lose and then we will come back. Like we don't permanently get the weight loss that we want, most of us. We might want to increase our income 5 times, but we will increase by only 5%, not by much. And if you see your last 5 years or anybody else does, they will see that they're within a certain range. We are locked into a financial result. We are locked into a health result. We are locked into a certain type of result in our relationships. They are not amazing. Why? Because we are governed by that mental program. Our careers can be massively exciting and at the next level and the next level, but we are locked into a certain result in our careers. So when I realized that I realized that I was a problem. I realized that I didn't have to feel guilty about it. I realized I could fix it. I felt a sense of immense relief. Immense relief कि boss, it's all fixable. मुझे ये नहीं पता था कि मुझे करना क्या है. मुझे सिर्फ ये पता था that I was getting it. कि वो कह रहा है कि हाँ, जो आप इनविजिबल ब्लॉक्स की बात कर रहे हो, है आप में, आओ, सीखो, इनको कैसे चेंज करना है, हटाना है इनको, and नई प्रोग्रामिंग करनी है, फिर आप देखोगे, you'll become a Ferrari or a Porsche or a Bentley or whatever it is that you see yourself as. So I jumped in. So that's how it happened. But the point is, Archana, like we don't have to hit rock bottom like I did emotionally. Whatever level we are at, we are capable of much more amazingness and more amazing experiences and more joy and more fulfillment and more happiness and more freedom of choices and money and time and creativity and impact. Everything can get better. That was the science of peak performance. So you don't have to be a champion athlete to be a peak performer. All of us can be peak performers when we learn how to tweak our own thermostat, and that's all it takes.
ये क्वेश्चन बहुत बार आता है कि कई बार एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस हैं which stop us for our true potential. They really stop us from being ourselves. It is also the people in our life who are so integral. Sometimes their actions and behaviors do not really help us to grow, right? They stop us from growing. Also, some incidents happen in life where they stop us really also to taking certain actions, because the goalpost shifts. Like supposing if there's somebody who's not well, you know, I might be wanting to do a lot of things, but my focus and my responsibility is to make sure that this person gets the proper health structure. I can look after caretakers, etc. So my whole energy is focused there, and then that person's energy also seeps into me, of however much I want to change my life condition and be happy, something will filter from that unhappiness of that person who's experiencing it, who's so close to me. So what do you have to really say about those things? Because that also is quite a, we want to change our patterns, but we are not able to.
Because we haven't been taught how to. We haven't learned how to. But that's part of the work that we do. That is the only thing that we do. If you were to do this program, it's a program on understanding your own mindset. We feel powerless in a certain situation because we have ceded power to that situation. We have ceded power to that person. So I can keep saying to myself that, yeah, actually I'm stronger than this, and I'm not going to let him bother me. I'm not going to let this person affect me. I'm not going to let the situation get the better of me. Happens. All of us are good people. All of us want to, do better. And all of us feel like we should be, right? But nahi kar pate. Yehi to hai. This is the program that you're locked into. This is what we have to learn to shift. I can tell you that, yeah, okay, but you are powerful. You have to, you can do it. But the work to just install a new thinking pattern has to be done. And you come for the training with me for 3 days, you'll feel the shift. Will you make that permanent shift? No, because it's a subconscious program. So you have to take a bit longer with it, and you have to keep doing what you have to do so that it becomes a part of you. Right now, what's happening is that system has been locked into it. This is 40-50 years of conditioning that is worked on us. Usko thoda badalne ke liye thoda sa time chahiye. So we work together for 24 weeks, but by the time you're done, you have locked in new set of thinking habits, feeling habits, working habits. You gain back control from situations and people. You're like, your attitude is different. Your self-image is different. Your perception of yourself is different. You're going to be like, this is fine and no more. This is where I draw the line for myself and no more. I'm going to say no to this. I'm going to embrace this. I'm going to embrace a new challenge. I'm going to learn to ride the waves of life. यही तो है. ये कहाँ से आता है? ये behaviors are not causing our situations. Our thinking is causing our behaviors, which is creating the situations which I'm experiencing. Two people can experience the same situation and take away a completely different
Absolutely.
experience from it, right? What is that? Those people are being programmed differently. There's a different program that is running them. Now imagine if you were in a situation which you previously thought harsh on you emotionally and mentally and maybe even financially. But tomorrow you were that person who was like, yeah, I know what needs to be done. I have a solution for this. I'm going to be able to deal with this. I'm going to draw my lesson. I'm going to change the way I see myself, and I'm going to take a different action, because ultimately our actions determine. And I really want everyone to know that everything can change very dramatically when you're not against the program, but you're using your mind to take you where you want to go rather than running against that subconscious program. It's a huge difference. कम time लगता है, कम effort लगता है, कम मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, no hustle, no grind, easy. And may I make one more point?
Sure.
What is particularly unique about us is when we understand that we are connected with the universal consciousness and that every action has a ripple effect in the universal field. Usse kya hota hai? What that means is if we are connected, there is a whole army of invisible forces, Archana, that is waiting to work with us. A whole army of invisible forces.
Right.
कुछ सोचा और हो गया. मैंने ये सोचा, एक नई opportunity आ गई. मैंने ये सोचा कि ये करना चाहिए, एक नया आइडिया आ गया. मैंने ये सोचा कि हाँ अब टाइम आ गया इसका, आई वर्क ऑन दिस, एक दरवाजा खुल गया. राइट. A lot of people experience it, these synchronicities, these miracles, these amazing things that you can't explain. This is nothing but connecting with the universal field and being able to tap those invisible forces that are creating your situations and your circumstances for you. You are actually creating your situations and circumstances. We are doing it inadvertently, not knowing what we are doing. Now imagine when you do this program, you become a conscious creator of your situations and circumstances, and you find like things are happening for you. Opportunities are showing up, people are showing up, resources are showing up for you. So not only do you remove the resistance, but you're actually seeing the path open up magically.
Yeah, of course, power of manifestation, power of imagining that you've done it, you've been there. Yeah, of course. I mean, I totally believe in it.
Manifest हम कर ही रहे हैं. Every second we are manifesting. We are manifesting unconsciously, and mostly we are manifesting the results that we don't want. Why would it not be worth our while to learn how to manifest consciously the results that we want?
Right. Yeah. More power to you, my dear friend. So, Parul, okay, this is a second act podcast. Of course, second act is a very powerful word in itself that is that power to me, which, wakes me up with like, okay, what's my second act today? So, of course, a little bit knowing about what do you derive from this word? What would you say is your second act?
First, tell me about yourself. How did your second act come about? Okay. I love second acts.
Yeah, so this is just because I left my corporate world and I really wanted to create an impact. And I said, what is that something that will impact me every single day? And I think this word really brought that, what I was seeking actually, that, I'm ready for something bigger and I should be able to touch many people's lives, including my own, which probably I've not really dwelt much deeper into my own self. And that really brought second act into being. And, through this work, of course, and lots of transformational workshops that we do together with corporates, in the B2C space, I have a very dear partner now, Sarika, who, and she also believes in the same concept. And we bring something like coffee bean retreats, where we just go out, spend some time, and like really try to discover these innate, again, conversations, potentials, something which is lying within, which stops us from being us. So it's an authentic space that we are trying to create. And then, of course, these podcasts, which are so beautiful, and I discover a part of me in every conversation to say, oh, yeah, I think this is another awareness I have today about myself. So this is what second act is, and it keeps me going.
How beautiful. More power to you as well, because, yeah, you and I are, what do they say? Birds of the same feather.
Yeah. I wish
it's about doing something meaningful, jumping out of bed, excited every morning, and then having impact. Really, really doing purposeful, meaningful stuff, which leaves a difference. So, yeah. Sorry, what was the question for me?
The question is, what is your second act?
My second act is to help you live your extraordinary life. I want you to understand that you can do it. You have the power. You are perfect. All you have right now is an imperfect program that is ticking away subconsciously. So yes, that's my second act. Of course, I'm going to do this for myself because you have to apply it every single day. But it's so easy to make that shift once you know how to do it, once you have a system. So yeah, my second act is to help everybody to live an extraordinary life. Please, you don't have to be in pain to live an extraordinary life. You don't have to need more money. I think everybody should have so much more money that they never have to worry about money. Nobody should have to worry about money. You should have so much money that you don't have to work anymore for money. Like your day is your day to do what you are here to do on this earth. And you should have perfect health, and you should be perfectly fit, and you should have amazing friendships, and you should have inspiring people in your life who lift you up, and you should travel the world if that's what you want to do. So any experience that your soul desires, you are here to experience it. Remember the first earliest things that we said, the soul is here to experience experiences. Whatever our heart is telling us, whatever our soul is saying, it is seeking.
Right.
It is trying to express itself. Unfortunately, we are limited by our little program. And so the soul is getting crushed or limited. And so we feel, yeah, why am I not doing better? I know I can do more. So that's my act, to help you enjoy that freedom that your soul is seeking.
Great. Great. All right. So tell me a little bit about the fun side of you. This is very intense conversation. It's getting into like a lot of soul work and spiritual work. What's the fun side?
This is the fun side of me. I heard you say the word intense. It's actually beautifully fun. You know what I do? I laugh at my imperfections. I have the biggest laugh at myself. Of course, I'm not perfect. I never will be. But my whole game, and this is what I will help my clients also work on, is we don't have to be perfect. We're not supposed to be perfect. We have perfect spiritual DNA, but we will always have imperfections. So let's roll with it. I'm going to take imperfect action. No people who have analysis paralysis, right? सोचते रहेंगे जब ये perfect होगी ना तब करूंगा, right? Or they will overthink, right? And our game is अभी करना है, basic पता होना चाहिए क्या करना है, and we go ahead and do it. So we have fun with our imperfections. We laugh, we lift each other up, and we're like, aha, that's your paradigm talking, that's your conditioning talking, and we laugh at ourselves. So my fun side is laughing at myself and keeping a distance from my thoughts which limit me. And I know what you're saying, but actually that's not me. I'm perfect. I also dance with myself. It's a great way to get the energy going. I love meditating. That's my fun side. I do some really fun meditations with myself and of course with our clients as well, which get the creative energy flowing. So yeah, it's all about being one with myself and inner alignment. Are my mind, my thoughts, my emotions, and my behavior should be aligned behind my soul. So that's a fun way.
What is fun meditation? I've never heard this word.
Yeah. What? A fun meditation is basically think creative visualization. What do I want? What experience do I want to experience that I'm not experiencing at the moment? We don't have to meditate 5 minutes in the morning or 20 minutes and then spend the rest of the day working hard or struggling or feeling frustrated. This has to be a lived experience. You know you're moving in that direction every day. Everything is good.
Okay, so we want to wrap up with some rapid fire questions. One book that probably has impacted your life or made you shift.
Autobiography of a Yogi.
And what from that book?
How to be mystical. Everybody can be mystical. We don't have to be born amazingly saintly. Everybody has the ability, like you can be totally normal and you can be a mystic. And this is what we are. We are becoming modern day mystics, to desire with detachment, to manifest with our minds the results that we want, the experiences that we want. This is who we are. We all can become that. So yeah, there are very, very strong complements with how we live our lives and the journey that he described.
So one food that really gives you that aha moment.
If you'd asked me a year ago, I would have said pizza, but I've broken that habit of eating processed carbs. So, oh my God. I don't know, I'm not into food anymore. Tandoori chicken, I suppose.
Okay, great.
Healthy and yummy.
Silence to you is?
Heaven.
Wow.
Heaven. I used to run away from silence earlier. I love silence. And for me, the quality of a beautiful relationship is sitting in silence with that person. Life is only relationships. Relationships define experiences. But the first and the only relationship that is the most important is my relationship with me, your relationship with yourself. Our relationship with ourselves is the first and the basic building block of our lives. Self-love. We hear it. Please learn how to practice it. Come, join us, become that person. When you love yourself as a habit, automatically, you will automatically put out love. And we don't even realize in the ways that we don't love ourselves. But when I realized that I had so much to love about myself, everything changed. So yeah, relationships, everything.
One habit you're still trying to change.
Ooh, so many. But here's another tip. Do not change too many habits in one go. Change one or two at a time. I am trying to change the habit of, I have a certain something that I'm dependent on. I'm trying to kick that. But I've got into the habit of waking up at 5. I've got into the habit of regularly meditating. I've got into the habit of studying TIR. I've got into the habit of scheduling my day and sticking to it. I've got into the habit of visualizing every day, 3 times a day. I've got into the habit of running my business in a certain way. Lots of new habits that I've developed in a year.
Great.
It's doable.
Wow. And one last thing that you want our viewers and people who are hearing us to take away from this conversation.
You are perfect. You are creating the experiences in your life. There are results that are amazing, but there might be results that you can improve on, which we just call as growth areas. And every challenge is an opportunity. If you want to live an amazing life, talk to me. You can. Don't waste even a second. You have it within you.
So thank you, Parul. It's been quite an interesting conversation. It was a different podcast, to be honest. You put me on the spot, and we did some meditation together. We did a lot of other deep conversation and also, conversation in which we both believe in the power of believing in your own worth. And I think that is something that is very beautiful. And I think each one of us needs to look at ourselves with a lot of love and care. And, we all have it in us. It's just that we don't believe enough. So,
Archana, can I please say thank you very much for being such a sport. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for experiencing the experience I took you through. Thank you so much for being you. And thank you for the amazing work you're doing.